Hey, folks, I'm Big Sam, and I've done it the wrong way for a long, long time. Welcome in. This is the Big Sam Podcast. We're going to talk about faith, family, leadership, and things that help you move the needle. Uh, in the past, we've talked about the worst thing that's ever happened to you. You heard when we went through our series on grief, you've heard me say it a few other times. The worst thing that's ever happened to you is the worst thing that's ever happened to you. Today, we're going to flip out 180 degrees. We're going to turn that around. What about the best thing that ever happened to you? We'll talk about success. Specifically, we're going to talk about what happens when we take something good in our lives and ruin it by comparing it to somebody else's good. We've all done that. Uh, the best thing that ever happened to you is the best thing that's ever happened to you. Sounds almost stupid when you say it out loud. Of course it is, Sam. The best thing that ever happened to you. But I don't think we live like we believe it. Your good is your good. We've talked about how you can't compare your pain to somebody else's pain. Your worst day is your worst day. Maybe somebody else has been through that. From the outside, it looks worse. That doesn't mean yours didn't hurt. Pain isn't a competition, but here's the other side of that. Joy isn't a competition either. Think about that. It's the same principle. It's just on the other end of the spectrum. Success isn't a competition. You can't compare your good to somebody else's good any more than you can compare your bad to somebody else's bad. Uh, Maybe the greatest thing that ever happened to you wouldn't seem like much to somebody else. Who cares? It's your life. Maybe you got a promotion. Maybe you paid off a credit card. Maybe you bought your first house. Maybe you got married. Maybe you started a business. Maybe you graduated. Maybe you ran your first 5K. It's again, and this is where I ran into that. I finished actually the first 5K I ever finished on paper was 53 minutes. And if you're not familiar with how that works, that's bad slow. That's like frozen molasses running uphill. But I did 3.1 miles. The next year, I went out and I ran it. I want to say it was about 43 minutes, 38 minutes, something like that. But I ran the entire thing. I say ran. Now there was some Kenyan guy that finished in about 14 minutes. And if I go, as a matter of fact, this guy, he decided to run it again, kind of, and was coming up behind me when I was finishing. Think about that. Uh, should I have been disappointed with that? No. Uh, you know, so uh, maybe you finally got a job you really wanted, but do you look and go, well, it doesn't pay as much as what Bill Gates is making? No, you don't do that. Maybe you made it through a year that you didn't think you could make it through. We've all been there. Whatever it is, the greatest thing that ever happened to you, celebrate it like it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to you, because it is. Don't make your success smaller just because somebody else's success looks bigger. Don't let don't make your success smaller because somebody else's success looks bigger. One of my favorite sayings: "Don't let your ice cream melt while you're looking at somebody else's sprinkles." Uh, it's good stuff. You've got a perfectly good bowl of ice cream sitting in front of you. I know we were talking about running a 5K. Now we're talking about ice cream. This the Big Sam podcast. You get everything. Uh, Instead of enjoying it, you're looking across the table thinking, man, look at his. He's got sprinkles. He's got chocolate syrup. He's got whipped cream. How come I didn't get all that? While you're staring at your bowl, your ice cream's melting. Eat your ice cream. Enjoy what's in front of you. And yes, I'm going to talk. Yeah, I'm talking about physical fitness while I'm telling you to eat ice cream. Enjoy the ice cream, y'all. That's a whole different podcast. You understand what I'm saying? We can be so focused on somebody else's blessings that we completely miss our own. And here's another thing: you don't know what they went through to get those sprinkles. We see success, we don't see the headache and the heartache that comes with it. You see the big paycheck, you don't see the responsibility. You see the promotion, you don't see the years of work that they went through to get it. You see the business owner with the nice house and the new truck, you don't see him lying awake at 2 in the morning wondering how he's going to make payroll. You see somebody with a great marriage, you don't see the difficult conversations and the forgiveness it took to keep that marriage together. You see the success, but you don't always see the price. Be careful about wanting someone else's life when you don't know what it cost them. Another thing that hits me pretty hard is somebody out there dreams of the life that you're disappointed with. Somebody out there dreams of the life you're disappointed with. Think about that. The house you're complaining about, the kitchen needs remodeling. Somebody else would love to have a roof over their head. The car you're tired of driving, somebody would love to have reliable transportation. The job you complain about every Monday, somebody's filling out applications hoping somebody will give them a chance. You open the refrigerator and say there's nothing to eat, there's probably $200 worth of food in there. Uh, I remember years ago, uh, we had opportunity to help serve in a soup kitchen on Friday night, and after we got done serving, I went out and I was talking to a guy, and uh, his story was, "Hey, I'm living in my car. Uh, I lost my job, lost my house, living in my car. I can't get my kids tomorrow. It's my weekend to have visitation with my kids, and I can't get them because I don't have a place for them." I'm like, man, that's bad. Uh, and the next day, a friend of mine called me up, and my wife had gone to visit his wife, and he was backing out of his driveway and didn't see her car, and he ran into it. Not much damage, not a big deal. And he called to apologize, and I said, "You know what, dude? I ain't got to live in it. It's okay. It's just a car." So could have been mad, could have been upset that my car didn't look great anymore, but I don't have to live in it. Uh, so uh, if you've got a roof over your head, a vehicle to drive, a job to go to, friends you enjoy spending time with, food in the cabinet, food in the refrigerator, you're doing pretty good. You're doing really good. By the standards of much of the world and most human history, many of us live incredibly wealthy lives. We just don't feel wealthy. Why? Because we're looking at somebody else's sprinkles. Uh, Years ago, sitting in Sunday school class, and we were talking about money and being rich, and I asked the group, asked the table, what's rich? What's rich? What does it mean? What does it actually mean? Uh, Most of us define rich as somebody who has more than me. If you're making 40 a year, somebody making 100,000 is rich. If you're making 100,000, the guy making $500,000's rich. If you're making $500,000, you're looking at the person making 5 million, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's always another level. There's always another house, another car, another vacation, another promotion, another zero on somebody's bank account. If your definition of success depends on having more than the person next to you, you'll probably never feel successful. There's almost always somebody with more. But look at what you've got. You've got electricity. You've got clean water coming out of the faucet. You've got food. You've got transportation. You've got access to information people couldn't have imagined a generation ago. You've probably got a phone in your pocket that can communicate with somebody almost anywhere in the world. We're rich. Maybe not according to the guy on the Forbes list, but that's my point. Stop using somebody else's measuring stick to determine whether your life is good. Uh, be pleased, but don't be satisfied. Here's where I want to make an important distinction. I'm telling you to appreciate your life. I'm telling you to celebrate your successes. I'm telling you to be content with what you have, but I'm not telling you to stop growing. There's a difference. There's a difference between being pleased and being satisfied. Me and Hannah used to go through this. Uh, when she was in school, she'd bring her report card home. Great student. She'd have 98s, 99s, 100s. I'd ask her, "Are you pleased?" Most of the time, she'd say, "Yeah." I mean, making killer grades, and that's great. And then I'd ask her, "Are you satisfied?" And if she had something that wasn't 100, she'd say no. That she had a 99.5, she wasn't satisfied. She wanted 100. Same thing. Uh, if you know you can do better, be pleased without being satisfied. Don't look at somebody else's 100 and think your 98's worthless. It's not. You work for that 98. Be proud of it. But if you know you can get the 100, get after it. That's what moving the needle's about. If you're capable of that, if uh, if you're capable of doing more and you know that's within your wheelhouse, do it. Maybe you look at life today and you're grateful, but there's areas you're not satisfied with. Good. Then you ask, what can I do about it? Make a plan. Maybe you're not satisfied with your physical fitness. I'm not right now. What can I control? Get up and move. Uh, can you walk around the block? Uh, I was watching a thing on Jelly Roll where his first deal was he would walk to the mailbox. Great. And then he said the next day he walked to the next mailbox in his neighborhood, if you can imagine that. And then the next day, the next mailbox, the next mailbox, the next mailbox, etc. Keep going, keep moving the needle. What can you control? Get up and move. Can you go to the gym? Can you go to the gym and get on a treadmill for 5 minutes? Cool. Go get on it for 5 minutes, get off, go home. You get on, the next day, go back and do two. Can you change what you're eating? Can you make one small decision today that moves the needle in the right direction? By the way, on the fitness stuff, you can look at the camera and see that's an area I need to work on. Okay, we're gonna pull the needle back. The season I'm in now, we're maybe not doing the best we can, but there's things going on. We're gonna fix that. You will see a difference. Make one small decision today that moves the needle in the right direction. You don't have to be a marathon runner tomorrow. Move the needle. Maybe it's your career. You're watching somebody else get the promotion. You're watching somebody else get the raise, and you're thinking, why him? Why not me? Well, maybe that's the wrong question. Try this one. Am I doing everything I can do? Am I working hard? Am I dependable? Am I solving problems? Am I doing what my boss needs me to do? Am I learning? Could I take a class? Could I get a certification? Could I read a book? Could I listen to a podcast? Back to getting certification. I was at a point in my career. Amy and I hadn't been married long, a few years. I was young in my career, but I found out there were some certifications that I could get that would help me move my career along. And there was 9 months where 3 nights a week, 2 hours a night, I was sitting at our kitchen table studying. Amy and I talk about that all the time. And that time was a huge impact on my career because I gained a quality engineering certification that opened a lot of doors for me over the years. And I gained a lot of knowledge during that time. Completely changed the course of my career because I saw something and it helped me move the needle. Could I listen to a podcast? Well, good job. You're listening to one now. Uh, could I find somebody who's doing what I want to do and learn from them? That's how I got the idea to get those certifications. Picking the brain of my buddy Carl Smith. He taught me a lot. Could I show up tomorrow a little bit better than I showed up today? You can't control the other guy's raise. You can't control whether somebody else gets promoted. You can't control whether the boss likes somebody more than they like you, but you can control you. So control what you can control. Stop looking for validation. Quit needing everybody else to validate your success. There's another trap. You accomplish something you're proud of, you tell somebody about it, and they don't react the way you hoped they would. So you were happy 5 minutes ago. You knew what it took to get there. You knew you overcame. You knew how hard you worked. Then somebody else didn't clap loud enough. Suddenly your accomplishment wasn't good enough. So what? You don't need everybody to understand why your success matters. You don't need everybody to celebrate it like you do. It's your ice cream. Eat it. Enjoy it. Their opinion doesn't change what you've accomplished. Uh, Social media has made comparison way worse. We constantly see everyone's highlights: the new house, the new car, the new promotion, the vacation, the business success. I've noticed something else. When somebody becomes really successful, especially financially successful, people start throwing shade. Well, nobody needs that much money. Look at that house. Must be nice. Can't hide money. Wonder who they stepped on to get there. Why? Let somebody be successful. Let somebody be wealthy. Maybe they're doing incredible things with that money. Maybe they're giving a bunch of it away. Maybe they're helping people you don't know about. Maybe not. Maybe it's just because they're further along in life than you. Had an instance, and this has been several years ago, where I'd bought a new leather jacket. Now I got this thing on sale. I bought it cheap compared to what it was, but it was still a reasonable price. And there was a girl at work was asking me about it, and then she said something about, I think her reaction was, we're not in the same tax bracket. Well, no, we're not. I was probably 50, 55 at the time. That's 50, 51, 52, something like that. She was 20. And I explained to her, when I was your age, I was pretty much in your tax bracket, and here's what I did. Uh, and we had a good, healthy conversation out of it. Uh, so you never know about people and how they got their money, how they're spending it. I can't control them. I can control me. Uh, I can't control how successful people are. Can't control what opportunities they receive. What I can control is how hard I work. And at the time for that leather jacket, I had worked pretty hard. Uh, how I treat people, what I do with the opportunities God gives me, and God's given me some great opportunities. And hey, if truth be told, God's given you some great opportunities too. Whether I continue learning, whether I get back up when I fail, whether I'm grateful, whether I'm generous. Uh, you know, Dave Ramsey, be crazy generous with what you've been given. Whether I can go and enjoy the life I've been given, control what you can control. It's one of my favorite sayings. It's a phrase I've used for years. Pray like it's all up to God. Work like it's all up to you. That's how I look at success. Pray. Ask God for wisdom. Ask Him for guidance. Ask Him to open doors. Ask Him to close doors that aren't right for you. Ask Him to bless your work. Ask Him to put the right people in your life. And then when you're finished praying, get up and go to work. God has given each of us different abilities, different opportunities, different resources, different circumstances. Your job isn't to worry about what He put in somebody else's hands. Your job is to be faithful with what He's put in yours. If He's given you an opportunity, use it. If He's given you talent, develop it. If He's given you a job, do it well. If He's given you people who love you, love them back. If He's blessed you with success, be grateful for it, then build on it. If He's blessed you with success, be grateful for it, and then build on it. Uh, that brings me back to where we started. The best thing that's ever happened to you is the best thing that's ever happened to you. Celebrate it. Don't minimize it. Don't compare it. Don't apologize it. Don't apologize for being happy about it. But don't sit on your laurels either. Maybe we need to add 2 words to that statement. The best thing that's ever happened to you is the best thing that's ever happened to you so far. I like that. You got the promotion, celebrate. Then get good at the new job. You paid off a debt, celebrate. Then figure out what financial goal is next. Pay off another debt. Build some, savings, etc. You lost 10 pounds, celebrate it. You finished the degree, celebrate it. Then use it. You had your best year in business, celebrate the heck out of it. Take your people to dinner. Thank God. Enjoy the moment. Then come back on Monday and say, all right, what's next? It's not being ungrateful, it's growth. You can be thankful for today and still be hungry for tomorrow. You can be pleased with a 98, still work toward 100. You can enjoy the ice cream you've got and still keep moving the needle. So one more thing before we finish, I want you to do something for me. Okay? Look around, not on Facebook, not on Instagram, not at your neighbor, not at the guy at work. Look at your life. What's good? Who's good? What have you accomplished? What prayers have been answered? What do you have today that you'd once hoped for? How have you survived? How far have you come? Maybe everything isn't where you want it to be. That's okay. Find the areas you're not satisfied with, figure out what you can control, and get to work. But don't be so obsessed with building a better tomorrow that you refuse to enjoy a pretty darn good day today. Somebody out there would love to have the life that you're complaining about. And someday you might look back at this season and realize those were the good old days. Don't miss them while you're still living in them. Don't let your ice cream melt while you're looking at somebody else's sprinkles. Be pleased, be grateful, celebrate your success. Work on the things you're not satisfied with. Control what you can control. Pray like it's up to God, work like it's up to you. And the best thing that ever happens to you happens. And when the best thing that ever happens to you happens, enjoy it. Thank God for it. Celebrate it. Then get up tomorrow and start working toward the next big thing. I'm Big Sam. The best thing that's happened to you so far is the best thing that's happened to you so far. Thanks for spending some time with me today. If this helps you, if this has helped you, share it on your socials. Okay, if it hadn't helped you, still share it. No, I'm just kidding. Share it on your socials. Send it in a text to somebody. Help me help others move their needle. We'll see you next time. Keep moving that needle.